Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We are here at Vale Farm doing another evening session, probably 3 or 4 hours. We're probably doing my favourite technique for carp fishing, dog biscuits on the surface. Can't really beat it. Visual fishing. It's dead simple, no complicated rigs, just soaked dog biscuits in water and chucking it out and watching that dog biscuit and waiting for that visual take. Can't beat it.
A guy's mic's on down here. He's got one slightly big. He's had 2 small, couple of pounders, I suppose. Biscuits or bread, Mike?
Feeding the biscuits and just one little small bit of bread, but it absolutely steamed out to the middle of the lake, and that's on a tight drag, look. So even if it is a small fish, it's done well for itself fighting. I haven't actually got a chance to see the fish yet, but what a great sport on these light rods. Absolutely tanked across the lake, this fish. It's a nicely coloured one. It's kind of orangey. It's not like a koi or anything like that, but it's just a nicely, I think it's a mirror, just a nicely coloured fish, but I can't actually see him yet. And there's quite a few snags here.
That's a classic bend in the Avon rod then.
Yeah, it's just holding its weight, isn't it? It's going for those. There's quite a few snags to the left.
And we were talking earlier on about we ought to start upgrading or changing our line. We've only had it 3 years. It's still working.
It's got a lot of energy, this fish. Well, you would do if you
got a hook in
had
you.
a size 8 in your mouth. These are those sort of off-turned hooks as well.
Yeah, they're weird.
That's a common. It's a nice common.
I've not actually sort of dropped a lot when I've been using that one, so I don't know what the shape of the hook is, but some of the guys might know what it is.
Yeah, so we'll have to show you after this. It's a strange hook, but
show you the shape of it.
Yeah.
And the packet, because it's old school one.
It's a partridge, I think. Wind's picking up now, and it's getting quite frustrating with the dog biscuits because it's just blowing it right into the snags. The carp are having a field day, and then
well, they're in there, aren't they? That's the thing.
We're struggling, yeah, because they keep blowing the dog biscuits in the snag. Ideally, you don't really want a wind at all. But this is picking up now, this wind, isn't it?
Well, we're on the change. That's why we've come out just for a last minute evening session before the weather changes. And we're trying to sneak a session in.
Yeah. And if this fish will give me any leeway, we might be able to get it in and show you. But at the moment, here at Vale Farm, they do scrap well, some of these fish.
Oh, really is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice comment. On a 3-pound test curve rod, you'd have this in a minute, but it kind of defeats the object of floater fishing.
Catching
really.
fish this size, yeah.
If you want to do floater fishing properly, you want to use
Sporty
£1.25,
tackle.
£1.50 test curve rods.
Here he comes.
Here he goes, Steve. He's in, right. On the mat. There we go. Really good scrap on this fish. And we've seen a few bigger ones out there. They're kind of out towards the middle of the lake, so we're trying to entice them in with some dog biscuits. Unfortunately, what that does is you get Mr. Swan.
Yeah, my favourite bird. Well, other than cormorants.
We're battling between each other to see who can get rid of the swan first. Well, this is the hook we've been using, this kind of offset hook. It's a size 8, is it, this one?
It's size 8, yeah.
Size 8. We've got different sizes, but Dad's got the
here's
packet.
The packet, look.
Yeah.
It is a Z17 partridge of Redditch. It's got finest handmade British hooks, and I can speak for that. Well, definitely, because I've used them for about 30-40 years. Now this one, other than the Z17, which probably doesn't mean anything now, is called a WS Specimen Hunter Hook. Sheffield steel and flash pointed. That's the packet. Now we used this, last night?
Yeah.
At another fishery in Surrey, and had to go with it, and I got a good hookup rate with it as well. So I don't know what it is about that weird shape. I've had them years, and I've
very odd
really only started using them recently, but I just found, don't miss too many fish on them. So anybody who knows what that is really,
yeah,
we're probably not even using it for what it's supposed to be made for. We're just using it for floater fishing.
Oh, well,
but all I'm telling you guys is, it seems to work, and we're not dropping too many. Back to work, I feel.
Yep.
Now guys, just hooked up close in here on a piece of bread. I went on the mixers, got pestered by a swan. Mike's got the same one pestering him, I think. And I thought, well, I'll try target casting to them instead. And that seems to have done the trick just on the one fish. So first fish on Vale Farm. First time we fished here. Not a big fish, no, it's a fun fishery. That's the main thing. It's all about fun, isn't it? But on the Avon rods, oh yes, they certainly do pull.
Well, I'm on to another one literally just as we were doing that hook talk, just after I caught that nice common. And that wind's really starting to pick up though. It's quite a pain at the moment. And you on there, Dad?
Yeah, I've got one as well.
Double hook up for the Pullen family. Let's see if I can show you his fish. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, he's on. He's definitely on. And I'm on over here, so we'll land these fish and then we'll hopefully be able to show you those on the mat.
There you go guys, they're not very big fish, but they are good fish and they're worth catching and they're worth, as we say, getting out of bed for.
Definitely, yeah.
Two at a time in the evenings, after work, squeeze a couple of hours in, and you know what, you are actually fishing at the right time. And I've seen the bigger one, let's go. Well guys, I've thrown some biscuits right underneath the willow tree up here, and this is also what you want to look for, little tips like this. Real proper full-on jungle fishing. But sometimes these willows come down like this, right? You see the leaves, and they're not as bad as other trees, you know, the actual branches go into the water and then form roots. So this probably has the tree growing out from the side, but the branches just dangle. So if your line does go deep and you hook a fish, it goes underneath, it just brushes through like this, you see, it brushes through underneath. So this is what I would consider a fairly safe looking jungle swim. And believe me, there are carp in there, right in amongst those overhanging leaves. Now I've only got the small tripod here. I'm just going to leave it running there. You might or might not see the fish. There's one there. There he comes, look. I'm just going to throw some biscuits in. There we go. Let's see if I can get them up for you. They're just... Sometimes they actually like the plop of all these little biscuits. I can see them over the back, over there. They actually like the sound. There he comes. There he comes. Ooh, I love it. There we go. Look at those carp just down there. Can you actually physically see them underneath the tree there? What I might do is try and get in there with a camera on my head, wind the line right up to the rod top. I've done it before like this, and then see if I can lower a biscuit on there and try and hook one out for you. But they are definitely in there. What I'm doing here, guys, is winding the bait up to the rod top. No casting. I'm just going to lower it down, make sure the reel is not in back wind, and then the drag's set perfectly. I'm going to try and sneak in there if I can. And what we're going to do is shorten the rod up, hold it halfway up the blank and try and net the fish. Oh, totally awesome. I do love it. I do love it, me. Hey, now that's what you call real jungle fishing.
This is how I'm going to hook the dog biscuit. Because we didn't soak them much, they're quite hard still there, hard there, but this side bit's soft. So I'm just going to lightly hook it in the side, just gently, and that's barely hooks there, but that should be fine. The hook point's still showing, so that should hopefully get us a fish. I'll just chuck a couple out there. You can see a couple rising. And now we've got swans.
Now you may be surprised to learn that we've actually got 2 nets. You and Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's in up there as well. I'll try and get this fish for you. If I get him out before he snags me. Come out. There's a big branch hanging in the water. And they obviously know that's the place to go to get rid of the hook. Come on, Mr. Fish. Nice looking mirror, pretty fish. There we go. A totally awesome little mirror. Vale Farm Fishery. Just fishing the most basic rig you could want. A hook. Just show you the fish. Quite a pretty little fish there. Nicely marked mirror. I mean, you can't want more than that. What is it? 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Just started. We've been here like 10 minutes and just got them going. And now I'm going to try and target something bigger. There's obviously plenty of stock in here.
This one knows he's been hooked. Oh, that was a good take, that. And that was drifting. My dog biscuits, I cast them out to my right and they're actually straight out in front of me by the time I hooked that fish. So just be wary of where you throw that bait. It all counts.
Coming number 35.
Yeah, your time is up.
Good fish too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a nice fish, yeah. They know where these overhangs are, that's for sure. He's trying to get me in the reeds.
Bit of side strain, doesn't go amiss.
I think he succeeded, I can feel the rubbing.
He's in there digging. There he is. You just keep the pressure on him. He'll kick his way out, hopefully. Oh, pulled out, yeah?
Yeah.
Hook pulled out. Well, guys, we haven't seen any of the legendary big ones in here yet, but you cannot say there are not numbers of carp in here. It is pretty well, in the evenings, one after the other. and they all scrap well. They're all brilliant fish on an Avon rod. I can imagine a lot of the guys like coming with match rods there, and they just keep digging and digging and digging. This one is a common. You can hear them boiling and splashing on all the biscuits we put out there. Get this one out for you. Get in. Easy. Oh yeah, it might go 6+, which is all good fun fish. Bearing in mind, it's just an evening session. Nothing more complicated than a fish hook and a dog biscuit. And this is what you can get. Is he going to behave? I fear not. Bit of a prima donna? No. That is not a bad old carp, guys. Not bad. Let's get it back. Fantastic fishing here. I mean, it's good sport, no question of that. But do that after work stuff. If you're at school, you're on school holidays, evenings, fish there. It's the old one, we did a film on it, be there when they bite. That's what it's all about. We've been fishing with these with singles, just a single chub mixer like that. If you want to use a double to give you a bit of extra casting weight, just try and roll it around the bend of the hook carefully like that, and just pop it over the eye and leave it up the line, just up here like that. Then take your other one, do it the same, because he's a soft biscuit, so don't worry about the hook just being there, and then carefully just slide that back over the eye and the shank of the hook, and that will give you enough casting weight, because these are wet, to get probably double the distance you can get with a single one. One biscuit came off, the other one stayed on, and I got a bream. But it works. It can show you that the double can actually turn into the single, and it can actually turn into the half, and then you can get a bream. I say no more.
Now the wind's died down a bit now, but just a tip really, almost a warning. Be careful when you're throwing your mixers out. Be wary of where you're throwing them. Don't just throw them straight out. I've got a feature here, a tree here, and I've got a tree there. Earlier the wind was much stronger. It was coming from here to my right, going to my left. Now if I threw the biscuits out straight, they're going straight over to the left before I've even cast my actual bait out. So what I do is I'll just throw the mixers slightly to the right, allow for the wind. Then I know that they're going to drift down towards the left. I can still cast out, but I will have in mind that my bait's going to drift to the left with these mixers here. Now I'm not going to neglect that place, that overhang over there with that willow, because in 10 minutes time all this bait here is going to be down there. So I'm going to bounce between these two trees to my left and to my right.